All right. Hello, gorgeous, amazing people. We are connecting all over the globe. So Paulo is my co-host. I'm Christine, and we are here to bring you light and love and energy and great positive mindset tricks and tips and hacks. And we're excited. Paulo, tell me what you've been up to. You've had some special guest potentials, and
Yes, I do. I mean, I have a couple of people in mind. One is a yogini, and she lives in New Zealand. So she certainly has a lot to bring in the way of maintaining positivity through connecting with nature. And I think that's brilliant because I've seen pictures of how she really embodies what she does. She's connecting with trees, sending energy to places which really need enhancement, and also the way she lives on a raw vegan diet, which is it's absolutely amazing to make huge sacrifices and to get into something like that. And what I like about her is that she's a yogini. Right. I've trained under many gurus, and it's good that we're bringing this out. Ultimately, there are only a few differences between men and women, but what I like is that is coming out, and she's probably one of the most interesting people I've spoken to in the world of gurus. So
that's very cool. That's going to be so exciting. I love it. This is great. So what we want to try to do, we want to try to spread as much love as possible. We know we're reaching the far corners of the earth. I know I have my friend Jasmine who watches from Australia. You are over in England. So I know we're touching all corners of the earth. What we would love to do is build our community. If you're watching this, you're either on my Facebook page, you're in the Maintaining a Positive Mindset community, or you're on the YouTube channel. We're going to be celebrating amazing things. So if you have, we have a member of the community who just became a grandmother. So Nadia, congratulations on becoming a grandma and having the new baby come into your life. There's so much love to be had there. That's so wonderful. So what we want to do, we want to showcase our community members. If you have something going on that you want us to celebrate, message us, let us know for sure. The only way you're able to maintain a positive mindset is to be surrounded by things that are uplifting. So we're here to do that for you. So Paulo is a meditation instructor. He's an author. He is fantastic. So he's got some really great tips for us to be able to get into a maintain positive mindset. What things have you been noticing have been helping you and your clients?
Well, this is really a very interesting conversation, to be honest, because before lockdown, a lot of people didn't realize how stressed they actually were. And, noticing things in yourself when it's quiet, the volume turns up and you suddenly realize that, I'm a little bit more tired. I didn't realize how tired I was. Or I feel a little more tension around my jaw or my shoulders. And you start to notice those things. Why are my shoulders always so tense? Because there's not so much going on. And sometimes it's not for any particular reason. So a lot of the people that I see are coming to that realization after very simple meditations. And I think you were saying that, Christina, you were saying that was it yours favorite meditation is body scan?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So that is really interesting because when I do a simple body scan with clients, and that just involves focusing on different muscle groups, if anyone is not sure what that means, they don't realize how tense they are, even in the most obvious place, like the shoulders. And so they drop it visibly. And, I see them on the Zoom camera dropping their shoulders visibly. And you can't tell someone to drop your shoulders, because some people are naturally built like this.
Right, right, right. Some
Because
people
it's
are just
offensive to say, well, you're tense. No, I'm just built
this
like
is
this.
me.
So,
Yeah.
so that's there. But it's
Right,
interesting because, and then you have that dialogue with, oh, I thought that was just no. And so humor comes in. So
right,
it's,
right.
there's so many things that you can add. So of course there's meditation. Everyone's saying meditate. Everyone's saying use headspace. Everyone's saying that's great.
Yep.
But there's also just start to apply those things as well. So,
Right.
being mindful, but why are you being mindful? So
Right.
that you can just check where you are.
Yep. And just figure exactly. And it's so cool to be able to see how our bodies react to our soul energy. How our thoughts create physical restrictions and movement, and the muscles tense because you're stressed. You're carrying all that weight in your shoulders. So what happens? You start getting neck and shoulder aches. It's amazing to see like the body, mind, emotion connection that I feel like we're overlooking that. There's so much science behind energy affecting our physical apparatus, but not a lot of people are, they rather give us medication to deal with it as opposed to going within. Why? I mean, I know you worked in the pharmaceutical industry for a little while. So do you think that that's like a quick fix that they're capitalizing on? What do you have any particular thoughts? I know I'm kind of putting you under fire on this one.
No. That is a very good question. I mean, the medical industry have they've done a lot. They've done a lot. They've given us quick fixes, and a lot of the cures are actually based on plant-based materials. So a lot of the cures are natural. There's some synthetic cures as well, but they're not cures. They're also they're ways to cure one thing, but they don't look deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And the power of Chinese herbs and Ayurveda, things like that, they are kind of looking at root causes. So I think that at the moment, science is starting to branch out and try to understand what is the real cause of this. For example, I used to suffer from TMJ, which is tension around the jaw.
Right.
And and I just thought, okay, that's just the way it is, or it's genetic, or you take anti-inflammatory to alleviate that pain. But what was it? It was examination stress while I was a student. It was so many different things.
Right.
So when I look deeper at that through meditation, that's where I got the cure, Christina. That's where I got the cure, Christina.
Got it. I love it. No, that's awesome. And that's stuff that our viewers can do too. Is one of my favorite exercises is a gratitude journal, and they could do something along the lines of mindfulness journal. Where are you? Set an alarm and take just a few minutes each day, and where am I mentally? Where am I physically? Do a quick 1 minute body scan just to kind of roll your shoulders, loosen the jaw. Just relax yourself just for a moment. And I think we get so caught up in what we're doing and the emotions behind it that we get lost. And I think having that mindfulness will help increase your energy to allow more positive energy to flow.
That's right. And it's really interesting you say that, because a lot of people don't realize it's about becoming relaxed to allow the energy to flow. That's exactly it. When you're tense, then the blood can't flow. So, let alone the energy, blood, if we can't visualize energy, but energy is there. Like you said, whether we believe it or not, science now proves it, that, we are composed of atoms, protons, neutrons, and electrons, and quarks, which are broken down into energy. So it's all there. And, quantum physics proves that we are energy beings.
I love it.
And just like being mindful of how positive you are is also a good trait,
Mhm.
because you can always enhance that as well, can't you?
Yeah. And, people, when we think of getting into a positive mindset, I know there are so many people who are like, oh my God, all you are is sunshine. Like, how can you live? Like, oh,
Mhm.
it's not, you can't be positive 100% of the time. Otherwise, like, you're living in a bubble. If you're
Mhm.
not experiencing negative emotion, negative experiences, it's you're not living. So the trick is when you're getting into a negative, or when you find yourself, when we wake up every morning, we have the option to make it a really good day or let it be a really bad day. And when you wake up and the dog pooped on the floor, because that happens, we know that, it's starting to go to the negative. If you can just kind of pull yourself up just a little bit, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be even just one tick over. But if you can just stay within that medium frame, you're going to be better off than like 90% of the people out there that let the dog pooping on the floor steamroll into your coffee's cold, and you spilled your coffee on the way to work, and you get into, you know what I mean? So like your bad day snowballs because you allowed that one moment to set the tone of your day.
That's really interesting.
And
That's so interesting, Christine, because I spoke to, this was around 10 years ago. I spoke to he was a rabbi, and he's the first, because I don't know what it is, but I've never spoken to anyone from the Jewish community ever,
right,
because we don't have a huge Jewish community here. So it
right.
was quite interesting that the depth of his knowledge was amazing. And he told me, when all hell is breaking loose, like you said, all hell is breaking loose, refuse to do anything. Just sit down. Don't do
Yeah.
anything. Just sit.
Yeah.
I never heard that before. I thought, oh, well, because I mean, there are many ways to deal with that. You
Right.
can continue, you can do affirmations, you can meditate, but
Mhm.
he said, just sit down and say, no, but I've got to do this and that, but just refuse to do it until you're in a place where you can mentally control what is going on, and
Exactly.
not, I know thinking with your heart is good,
Yes.
but it's also getting a balance, I think,
Yeah.
between the head and the heart, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And and that's such a great point. All you have to do sometimes is just nothing. You have
Mm-hmm.
so much going on. It's every day. We got the kids, we got the family, we got the business, we got work, we've got clients who need us. We have so many things that are going on that it's like, you know what? No, I'm
Yeah,
just going to hang out here and I'm just going to sit for a moment and get it together.
yeah, yeah.
And the more you do that, the more you get used to being in that peaceful spot, that kind of calmer. So the more you do it, the more quickly you're able to get there when things kind of hit the fan.
Yes,
Too. So
yes,
that's always
exactly.
a good thing that I've noticed, that it's easier to get into the mindset once you know what that calmness feels like, once you know what that peace feels like.
Really interesting. And feeling is very important, because, the five senses that we have, when the more you use them
Mhm.
to emphasize something, so something positive, an affirmation, the more you use them, the more deep set it becomes.
Right.
And it's really interesting, because so the guru, I mean, I think of him as the guru of positive thinking, Tony Robbins.
Mhm.
When he I first got introduced, not personally, but introduced to him
Right, right, right.
through audios and things like that. He had a program for, I think it was 7 days,
Okay.
and it was the 7 day, 7 days or 7 weeks. But anyway, one of the things he did emphasize was using your whole body when you move, when
Okay.
you express yourself. And I wasn't used to that, because I mean, different cultures use their bodies in different ways. And
Right.
so in the UK, we don't use our arms so much, but now I do.
Right.
I use my arms more when I'm expressing. And when I do that, I feel so much more empowered. And that
Okay.
really, yeah, really aligns with what
Interesting.
was going on inside me. And
Uh-huh.
also with the Tai Chi, the martial
Right.
arts, the yoga. Now I bring it into my daily life by just kind of emphasizing more with my body. Not too much, but
Right. But
just enough.
still, yeah, no, that's so interesting. And I mean, if you watch my videos, I'm constantly like, rah!
That's
But
good.
it's well, you can't contain some of this energy sometimes. But it's so interesting to see that, like, not everyone in different cultures are very much more reserved. Some are much more animated, and it's so interesting that it's actually a cultural thing too, and again, we're reaching people across the globe here. So I think that that's going to be a fascinating concept for the people that are watching this too. If you're watching this, make sure you're commenting. Let us know that you're watching this, because we are doing this to help spread joy and love for you guys. So if you're on, say hi. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Let us know you got eyeballs on this, because this is some good stuff, guys. You can't make up this energy. You can't make up this kind of cohesiveness. We're talking across the entire ocean and hours apart, and we're on the same wavelength. We're sharing the same energy, and it's so cool to be able to do that.
I
Yeah.
agree. And, we are both offering a free consultation.
Yes.
So message us directly
Yeah.
and, take advantage of that, because we recognize the pain that people have suffered during
Yes.
this pandemic. And, both of us have seen real examples of how people have really suffered. And, we won't go into that, but, if you're suffering, you don't have to suffer in silence, because we're happy to give you, and who does that, free, a free
Exactly.
consultation, and
Yep.
you'll get some good help and advice through
Absolutely.
that. So, take us up on it. Take us up.
Absolutely. I know Paulo does his Tai Chi and his martial arts and the meditation. I'm here to help you with your relationships or empowerment. If you're feeling down on yourself and your relationships are struggling because of your low self-esteem, I'm here to help you with that. We combine science, and we combine spiritual work, and we combine energy work into this amazing package of, like, awesomeness. If you guys need us, we're here for you. We're here to support you. We're here to encourage you. And we're here to get you in the mindset to be able to carry on your purpose and live your passion and be as happy as you can possibly be, because life's too short, and we deserve to be happy. And if you're not happy, you need to contact one of us, because we are here for you in all ways, shapes, and forms that we need to be.
Absolutely. I just thought of a game I used to play as a kid,
Okay.
and the game was, have you heard of Buckaroo?
No, tell me about it.
Buckaroo. Oh, it's very childish. It's a little toy mule, and you have to slowly put ropes and baggage on the mule,
Okay.
and if you do it too fast, it kicks.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the person who makes the kickoff has lost the game.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and then you reduce the number of players as you go,
Okay.
and the last person wins. So
Okay.
the interesting game, because I look at it, I look at life in the same way. The more baggage you hold, the
Yep.
more likely you are to kick off. The more
Yes.
stress, the
Perfect.
more
That's
pain.
such a great analogy for it. Yeah. And we think that we have to carry all this. We think that it's our duty and our responsibility. And there's a lot of it that we can let go. There's a lot of it that we can release control over. And there's a lot of it that we don't have to carry forward with us. We can let it go with love, and we can let it go as a part of who we are in the past. And, as you said, there's definitely plenty of people, so many people are carrying and just adding stuff into that basket on their back. And at what point do you just break? What point is enough?
Yeah, exactly. It's really interesting. And I see a lot of people, this is so common, I think probably everywhere. They'll say, "Oh, hi, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? Good." And that's it.
Yep.
And they clearly know that the other person is not fine. They're carrying
Right.
perhaps some really serious baggage. You can tell from the eyes. I'm guilty of doing that as well in the corporate world. But then I think, is that person really okay? Would that person mind if I ask them, are
Right.
they all right?
Yeah.
And now, looking back, I do wish that I'd had a deeper conversation with those people, because
Right.
life is too short. And I think it's about creating through example the culture that you want.
Right. Oh my God, that's such a great point. Because how often do we say we're fine and we're not?
Yeah.
And if we're granted, that's a common etiquette training. Like that's, hi, how are you? Great to meet you, great to see you kind of thing. It's etiquette. But
Mhm.
at what point do you allow your authentic self to show? And are you the same person in that corporate meeting as you are at the grocery store or, at home with the family? And if like there's a super mismatch, we can also help you kind of figure it out and get you back and get those pieces matching, because you're going to be different in situations, but you're also needing to be true to yourself. And I think a lot of our anxiety and a lot of our social stress comes from portraying one thing and being something different.
Mhm.
So I think that that's something that we can explore too. Why people are stressed and anxious is because they don't know who they are.
That's really interesting. I like the way you put it, portraying one thing and being something else. It's almost like they unfortunately feel that they have to do that.
Yeah.
I can think of a example when I was working in the scientific world.
Uh-huh.
A friend of mine came to me and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" It's good. No, actually, it's not.
Right.
I thought, oh. He said, "I need to talk." I said, "Okay, shall we talk?" "No, I need to talk now." I thought, okay, you know what? Forget this. I'll just go with you.
Yeah.
And I spent 3 hours with him because it was something very serious.
Right.
And I'm glad I did, because, and he just, though I counsel people
Right.
professionally, he just wanted someone to listen. And,
Right.
he said, "Don't try and counsel me. Don't try and, I just want to talk to you." I said, "Oh, yeah, fine, fine. Give me advice as a friend. Don't," I said, "Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah. No,
Okay."
that's
And I
awesome.
was trying to, counsel him, but then he just wanted to listen, someone to listen to him, Christine.
Yeah,
That's all.
and that's we all just want to be heard. I think
Yes.
that's really what it comes down to. We want to know that we're worthy. We want to know that we're loved, and we want to know that we're accepted.
Yeah.
And the trick of it is like the core of my teaching, the core it's you have to love you first. And that's where the meditation comes in. That's where the mindset shift, just that little tiny percent, get yourself in a mindset, do things that you love, do things that make you feel good. And then everything else starts falling into place from there, you
That's
know?
really interesting, because I know in ancient Egypt and in Indian culture, they had temples where you would go and see a priest if you were emotionally unwell, as
Okay.
well as physically
Yeah.
unwell. And he would wear, or she would wear, a robe, and they would look the part, and they would say certain things
Mhm.
to create a feeling that you have been empowered to heal yourself. And
Okay.
sometimes you need certain things to be said to you in order for healing to, well,
Exactly.
to self heal.
Yes, absolutely. Because I think we get so trapped in ourselves that one, we don't listen to our own advice, and two, someone else can say it in a way that's more impactful. If it's coming from an authority figure, like someone, as a great religious leader, is telling you, okay, this is what you need to do to fix yourself, or this is how you start on your journey to heal. it holds more water when it comes from someone of authority. And but we all have that capability. We all have it within us. We just lose faith that that's possible. And that's why
Yes.
we're here, to help uplift everyone to know that they are capable of absolutely anything that they want to do. And we're here to help guide you guys into doing that.
And the great thing I like about the States is I watch a lot of movies as a kid, and I like the bubbliness. I always felt that. And I did a lot of research on people from the States, and a man called Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
Yeah, American football coach, isn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
So the reason I did that was because I was given a little written transcript,
Okay.
and it said, if you think you're beaten, you've lost. If you think you dare not, you don't. Success begins with your own will. It's all in your state of mind. Life's battles are not won by those stronger or faster, but sooner or later, the person who wins is the person who thinks I can. And I memorized that. I didn't know who it came from. I didn't know. I searched and searched. Then when, okay, this is going to reveal my age, before the internet, but then when Google came out, then I typed in the words, and then the author came up. I thought, oh, right. Oh, this is the guy who wrote it.
Right. And it's so true. I mean, if you think that you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. I mean, it's all up to what you believe is possible and how willing you are to put that energy into making it happen.
Yes. It was so powerful. And I memorized it because I knew that it would serve me well. And, with your subconscious mind running stories, I like to keep it running positive stories if I can. So I've set that in place, and I know that, that's running in the background. I know that everything you see, everything you do, apparently science proves that we remember it, but at the subconscious level.
Right.
So we can't pull it out. Apparently, we can't pull it out unless we are in a deep trance. But if you've seen it or you touched it, you remember it. So that's
so interesting.
Every day, something positive.
The brain is it's so amazing. It's a supercomputer, and we haven't even tapped into a fraction of what we're capable of. There are some days where I don't even remember if I ate breakfast this morning. You know what I mean? So, but there are things that I remember down to the minute detail in certain circumstances or certain moments in my personal life, and it's amazing to see the same thing with others. What sticks, what doesn't, why certain things matter more to your brain than it would for other people. It's so fascinating. I love it.
It's really interesting. I like that comment that you don't remember breakfast, because actually that's a positive thing sometimes when you are so involved in things. Highly positive people, highly successful people don't remember those. They're just so engrossed in the things that really matter. People who, unfortunately, who remember eating those things are those perhaps who comfort eating, and then they beat themselves over a stick, over the head with a stick, because they've done that, which is a shame, because we all slip up sometimes. And there are ways to bring yourself up after you've gone against something you don't believe in. So.
Yes. So one of the things that I've done recently, we were talking a couple of weeks ago about learning new things as, being a way to fill your time, to really start feeling good about yourself. And one of the things that I did was go through a tapping certification class. And it's so empowering and it's so amazing, because what you're doing is you're combining the mindset with physical touch, physical movement, and it's just absolutely incredible. So if you guys are interested in that, that's something that maybe one day I'll put up a video of a tapping exercise. We can go live one day and do that. But learn something new. Make sure that you're doing something that's going to to empower you. Give yourself a tool that's going to make you feel good, make you feel better, because there are going to be people who can benefit from you teaching them that tool too.
That's really interesting. And I've got a quick story.
Yeah,
It's about two monks who were walking by a river, and they spotted a lady who was stuck on the same side. She wanted to get across. And the elder monk said, well, okay, I will help you. I'll carry you across because you can't swim. So, yeah, he carried her across and put her on the other side, and she was very grateful. And they left for the monastery. And unfortunately, on the way back, the other monk became very resentful. And he said, look, you can't carry a lady. You can't touch anyone. We took a vow. How could you do that?
Right.
And interestingly, the elder monk said, well, yeah, I carried her. I carried out a good act, but you have carried her all the way back to the monastery in your mind in a negative way.
Yeah.
And that is worse. So, it's interesting because we carry the energies that are very harmful sometimes to our mind, and we don't realize it. Whatever that event was, it's finished. Leave it. Don't draw a line under it. So, I think that your tapping, I read a little bit about this. It's really interesting. It kind of takes you away from the negative event. Is that right? And then you change the pattern through tapping somehow.
Yeah. So what it does is tapping, there's all type, they call them algorithms, and there's all different key points. It's kind of like the acupressure points that you're touching, you're hitting the physical meridian lines, and you're allowing the energy to flow a little bit more effectively. But what you're doing is you're combining your thinking process. So you have this negative thought, but I don't have enough money. That's such a normal, like, oh my God, I don't know if I can pay the rent.
Yeah.
Well, money always comes to me when I need it the most. And once you focus in on that positive, then that's when you start doing the tapping. And what it does is it helps ingrain it more into your mindset, because what you're doing is you're creating the trigger points. You're hitting these trigger points. You're allowing the energy to flow, but you're doing it in a way that is going to enable your recall. What you were saying, your subconscious mind. Well, if you're going through these actions and you're not doing anything to concrete it in all of your senses, you're not going to remember it. So by thinking and focusing on the tapping points, focusing on where you're going next on your physical apparatus, you are able to hone in and really focus and make that mindset shift. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. That makes perfect sense and sounds very powerful indeed. I believe in the flow of energy, and it just sounds like you are physically moving the energy at a very deep level, even at the thought level. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited. So we've had it hasn't shown on my screen, but I checked over on Facebook, and we had Miss Anita and we have my friend Stephanie checking in and saying hi. So we just wanted to give them a shout out. For everyone else who's watching this, like it, love it, share it, get this positive energy out there. If Stephanie is a Reiki master, so she would probably be a good one to interview too. I definitely want to do shout outs. I want to get everyone involved. This community is all about growth. It's all about encouragement. It's all about positive energy, helping each other out. And, I think we covered a lot of stuff today. We always get it.
Brilliant.
We love it, and if you guys have any topics that you want us to cover a little bit more in depth, or you have anyone that you think that we should bring on the show, let us know. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you. And we want you to get the most out of this as possible. So message either one of us if you have questions, want to know more about what we're doing, how we can help you. You can message us directly, okay? So let me see. It's just showing Facebook user here. Oh, it's not showing. Okay. All right. Well, I love you. Whoever is saying hi, we appreciate you. We definitely, enjoy having you visit with us. So we will catch you all again next Thursday. We'll do this. It's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard. It's 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock UK time.
Perfect. So if you guys are joining us, make sure you're hitting hashtag either live if you're here live, or if you are doing the replay, let us know you watch this. All right, guys, we will catch you all next week. Thanks so much for watching and interacting with us. It was fun playing with you all. All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.